we get to thrive, we get to build an amazing life, a successful business, even if we don't have all our shit together. What do I want to do with my life? Well, I don't want to work for anybody else anymore. It's all I knew. I knew what I do not want, which is very valid, because people stop you like, don't tell me what you want, tell me what you want. Like, no, tell me what you don't want, because all the desires and all the dreams are actually rooted in our challenges, in our dislikes, right? I don't want to work for somebody else. What that means I try to figure out how to work for myself. So I decided to go back to school and I discovered coaching. So I did a year like to, become a health coach, and then I became a life coach, and then a transformational coach. And then before you know it, I was in like 8 different programs with different mentors, different communities. And I was a full-time student, right? Like I'm talking 10 hours a day, kidding you not. And when I keep discover, like, what is it that you know? What is it that you like solid in it? What is it about you, your life experience, your personality, or all the things that you know that if somebody knock on the door right now, you could be that person for them, right? So my solid thing in my being at that point was being a single mother. I was a single mother for 10 years of my child life while traveling countries. When we moved to United States with no friends, no family, no English, we end up in a bad relationship. We end up on the streets. We end up homeless. I experienced starvation. I experienced all kind of sorts of abuse. And in all that, in all of it, the thing that was solid and I did best was my relationship with my kid. And like, okay, that I could support another human. That doesn't matter what your circumstances are, you could raise above them for the things that matter to you. So the only thing that mattered to you is how to be a parent for my kid. So I raise above that, right? I didn't raise about how to do romantic relationship. I didn't raise about how to eat healthy. I didn't raise about about so many other things, right? The point being is that we get to be successful even we are messy. We get to thrive, we get to build an amazing life, a successful business, even if we don't have all our shit together. And I wish somebody will have told me that from the beginning, because I just felt like, oh, you need to clean that thing, and you need to clean that thing, and you need to clean that thing, and then, and only then. And I'm like, I'm done waiting. Oh, why am I not good enough with all my imperfection? Why? I mean, the whole work is to learn how to let go on what other people say about me or how I'm doing life, because it's my life. And now you tell me that I'm not good enough because I'm not pretty enough, or don't have the system or the funnels or the hot hook, or like I need all these things. Like, no, I don't. I've been a single mom for 10 years, traveling the countries, moving in 6 different states and countries with a kid without speaking the language, being homeless, didn't eat for days, ending up in shelter, have no identification. We have no IDs. We are no in any system. You cannot find it. Everything was expired. And I'm here. You tell me that I'm not good enough? And you, everybody has their own story. That's why I'm saying my story is not just mine, it's everybody's story. Like there are so many pieces in you that you overcome them, you survive them. How do I know? Because you're here. You're here. So don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough. So that was my first niche, if you wish, single parents. And then I dive into parenting. And then my kid came out. And then I realized that all the things that I knew about LGBTQ community and inclusivity and all that was close to nothing. Because we think like we know it all. No, I don't know if you know it all until you actually get to live it and breathe it and feel it. So I dive into that with research, with interviewing people. That's how I build my podcast, right? Interview people around the world. And then I jump into organizations. And then before you know it, I was traveling all over the world, different countries for international conferences in LGBTQ space, fertility, same-sex couples, transgender individuals that want to become parents. And throughout all that was my work was keep cleaning things and how can I show up with all my imperfection, with all my limitations, to dare to say what I think, to dare to ask the provocative questions, to dare to show up as I get to be a student and a teacher at the same time. You know, somebody and many because stays like, well, you do too many things. I'm like, who are you to judge? You know, yeah, there is a podcast, yes, and then I'm speaking, and yes, that I'm teaching, and I'm doing trainings, and I'm doing one-on-one coaching, and I'm writing, and I'm publishing, and name it. And I get to do whatever the hell I want to do because I no longer hold on hot hooks and niches. And the question, probably the only question is, what do I want to do today? And the intention is, if I could trigger one person and support one person to move forward, my job is done. Like those are no negotiable. And if you trigger about the fact that I say that if I trigger, know that it's equally valuable to be triggered by a person or whatever somebody said. It's equally valuable as to be inspired, because that means both of those parts are in you. How many times we watch people that we follow and we are inspired, like, damn it, I was just saying that thing the other day. Only have the courage to do, now she's doing it. And that was my idea, right? How many times we went through that? It doesn't matter, right? Or we see these people doing all this thing and it's just like, oh, I don't like her, or I don't understand her. She mispronounced things. Like those my biggest fears. Like she mispronounced things. Her spelling is all over the place. Well, how did she write a book when I got her emails and it was misspelled? Well, because with the book I hired an editor. So I won't stay here and say, oh, it's perfect, I done it, I'm so smart. I'm like, I know I'm smart, I know I'm brilliant, and I also know that English is my second language, and I'm aware of my mispronunciation, and I'm aware about my misspellings. And if I want, and the book is published, it's a bestseller, it's been through so many editings, and I'm rereading it wrong because I want to record the Audible version, and I found misspells. I mean, you know, so if you just want to stop into that, it's just an excuse. You know that it's in you. You know you want to tell your story, and now you're looking for excuses to why should you not do it. You know you want to be like that person that you follow. And then every time she makes a mistake, now you find yourself a excuse like, oh, she's not that good. And I think this was the biggest growth for me, to understand that we cannot freaking be successful while keep looking at what people are doing wrong and how they are mistaking. Like I've been doing that. I don't even know who that person is when I look back. So trigger one person, because that means, hey, there is a part of you that might need your attention, might need a little love, might need a little compassion, might need a little discovery, might need a little healing and releasing. And if you're inspired, it's a part of you that say, hey, you can do this too. There is part of your desire that resonates with this. So just take a step. And not about showing people like who's better and who's worse. None of that shit. It's just show up, tell your story, just to show people that they're not alone and it's possible. Like that permission that we are craving since we are little, like just give other people permission to be themselves. Of course, I want people to like me, but do I want everybody to like me? No, that's too much. It's just all the like, listen to yourself when you ask, I want more friends. I want more. I want $1 million. I'm like, really? Do you really want $1 million? What's going to happen if you're landing in your bank account today? Are you ready to hold it? Are you energetically prepared to receive that money? Do you know what that means in taxes? Are your relationship in a space where you could receive the money and hold it and feeling that you deserve it and they are yours? We also acknowledge that it's so much harder done than said, right? But you know who you are. You know who you are. You know who you are. And then you could see the discrepancy between who you are and who you show up as. Because if we fall in love with who you show up as, how long you could keep up with that? And 100% I'm speaking from my own experience. When I pretend and I do things and all the things just so I could have the man, so I could have the relationship, so I could have the friend, and it's not sustainable, right? So the only thing that doesn't let us be who we are is not even the people and the circumstances and the events, it's actually our own story. And that's what the power is, because it is your story. Nobody could tell you if it's not enough or big or inspired. It's your story. You own it. It's yours. You can't change it. You can't change it. It's gone. The past is there. But you get to learn how to accept it, love it, heal it. And with every layers, then we actually gonna see this person who you really know that you are. If you jump in my life on, I don't know, Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock, chances are that I have an eyeliner and mascara on. I'm not just putting it on because I have this call at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'm doing my hair and I'm curling my hair and things. I'm just give a obvious example, right? But we know goes deeper than that, and we can go deeper than we are ready to go. But the easiest part to start is from outside in. And I know people talk about the inner work and the importance, and yes, 100%, that is the work, the inner work. It's just, if you're just flirting with the idea of go on a journey of healing and doing the inner work, just be gentle with yourself. You don't need to just dive into your soul and slay the dragons and live the blood on the floor in the day one. You could just start with outside, as far from you as possible, right? Like your environment, your house, how you make your bed in the morning, how you brush your hair, like just get closer and closer and closer. And if you feel like, oh, I don't want to go there, whatever, get support, girlfriend. Get support. And I'm not saying go hire a coach just because we are coaches here. I'm saying get whatever support is for you today. The right song. If that's the support that you need in that minute, that's the valuable support that you get to give yourself. But we train ourselves to allow ourselves to believe that we deserve to be supported. We deserve to be helped, not because we are incapable, it's just because it's easier to do it with other people. That's why you are here in this group, to get inspired, to see other people, to not feel alone, to just kind of calibrate to like what's possible, what else can I do? I might get an idea, I might say something that you say, oh, that's so brilliant, and you jump on it to do it. But then when you're there, allow yourself to have others' ideas, to spark your own ideas, right? We go back to the systems. Take the damn system and take it just with the intention of like, I'm going to take a step and we'll see what this is going to take me, but I'm going to be open and intentional about figure out my own system.